Homecoming. With the Downer Brothers. Move it.
You want a bunch of real estate in the city, what you gon' do? Call the Downer Brothers and I guarantee they got you. Real estate business, listen, let's get it.
Real estate.
Real estate business, listen, let's get it.
Listen.
This episode is sponsored by Jared Greer with Guaranteed Rate. Whether you are looking to buy your first home or renovate your current home, go to rate.com/Jared Greer today.
Equal housing lender, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. NMLS ID 301746. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. It's Homecoming with the Downer Brothers. This is Anthony.
This is Anton.
And who do we have today?
Today we have Amanda Stapleton. She is a realtor in Chicago, and when I say she is doing it big, that is an understatement.
That's right. That's the reason why he lowers the tone of his voice when he announced that it's Amanda Stapleton. How you doing?
I am good. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited about this.
All right, cool. I mean, first of all, you fresh to death.
Oh,
I see all of
thank
this,
you.
all flawless and everything.
Thank you.
Dang, I'm like, man, maybe next month we need to get flawless or something, man.
But I'm like, how do you have time? Because every time I look on Instagram, you've helped somebody sell their property, buy property, commercial and residential. It's like, man, nonstop with you.
Listen, you know what? It's not enough time in the day, but I'm getting it done. I have an amazing team. I definitely feel as though once you get to a certain level, you can't go to the next and the next level by yourself. So at this moment of time, I am literally focusing in on building my team stronger than ever. So,
hey, teams and systems, that's a consistent
very
thing
important.
among
Very
people
important.
who are successful, having systems and teams in place. So yeah, we
agree.
understand that completely. So this is Homecoming with the Downer Brothers. So we always like to start off by asking, where is home? Tell us where you're from.
Oh, okay. Home, definitely born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. Born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I actually attended Perkins Bass, which is in the heart of Inglewood.
Okay.
I graduated 8th grade from there. Then I ended up moving over into Woodlawn during my high school years. Went to Hyde Park High School, so I am an Hyde Park alumni.
Okay.
And for the most part, yes, I am a south side girl. That's what it is. Born and raised in Chicago. Yeah.
All right, cool. So you become this realtor and you had this team and you like buying and selling. And
Okay.
I mean, anybody who goes to your Instagram sees you moving and shaking. Who introduced you to real estate? Like, how did you make it here?
You know what? It's a unique story, and it's crazy because this happened, I feel like, by accident, but this was all in God's plan for the most part. Literally, my mom's realtor, probably back in like 2012, I was really intrigued by, the whole process, and I had literally just graduated high school in 2011. So I was really intrigued by the process, and, my mom was like, hey, my daughter loves real estate, and so happened, her realtor ended up giving me the contact information to the managing broker, and I actually stayed with that company for 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no family, have a real estate background. I am like the first person in my immediate family to buy real estate. I'm the first person to be a realtor. So this is all very new to me. But I had some amazing mentors, throughout my career. So I can't complain. I'm definitely blessed for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, all right. 7 years in the game. Let's do a flashback.
Working on
though.
8. It'll be 8 in June.
I want a flashback though. I want to go back to the beginning. You get your license, and now, as I talk to a bunch of realtors, it's all about, okay, now you got to build your referral base and you got to try and find clients and this, that, and the other.
Right.
Were you discouraged at all, or did it easily come to you and you were able to build a client base?
So a lot of people don't know. I actually started off as a leasing agent. I did not come into this industry as a real estate broker. I was leasing apartments over on the south side of Chicago. And literally it was a hustle. Like, it was a hustle. So the crazy thing is that the moment that I decided to get my broker's license, I literally didn't spend too much thought on it. I just jumped into broker school, passed, and I started contacting my landlords that I was working with, like, hey, I'm a realtor now. And just like that, I'm getting 3 units, 16 units, 12 units. So that's how that happened. So I want to say like the first 3.5 years of my career, I was not a buyer's agent. I literally became a buyer's agent once I heavily got on social media. That's when like the buyers started coming in. But a lot of my network came from referrals and me already previously doing business with them, as a leasing agent.
And you were selling commercial property.
Commercial property, yes. I was 23 years old, selling 32-unit buildings, trying to figure out, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Or not? But no, we was closing, and once we, after that first, second closing, you're like, okay, I got this. Like, this is easy. So,
Plus, those are larger numbers than this typical single family home.
You know what's crazy? I didn't sell my first single family until like maybe, oh my God, like the 5th, 6th year of my career.
Really? Did you look at that check and say, oh man, this is a lot smaller than I'm accustomed to?
Exactly. That's what I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. But no, I like a good challenge. So the fact that I was an investor's agent for so long, I'm like, let me tap into this world, and I want to work with first-time buyers. I really felt like I was able to add value to them because a lot of the information that I learned from my seasoned investors, I was able to pass that information over to, those first-time buyers. So
I want to go ahead and break down the difference between a buyer and a seller's agent real quick.
Okay. Time for Anton's definition of the day.
It's time for Anton's definition of the day.
The definition today is seller's realtor or seller's agent. A seller's agent or seller's real estate agent is a professional who helps get the property sold. The seller's agent represents the person selling the property and holds allegiance to that party. Seller's agent.
All right, so you're primarily a seller's agent and doing it for commercial properties that, I would assume those are larger transactions.
yes.
I mean, a 32 unit on the south side.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work.
Why is it a lot of work?
It's a lot of work because doing residential is like the typical inspection, appraisal, then you're at the finish line. But then, with the multifamily commercials, you have the property inspector, then you may have another inspector from the bank, and then another inspector. Like 2-3 inspectors will come out and look at the property before an actual appraisal even happens. So it's a lengthy process. Not only that, sellers have to send in like T12s and different statements to prove what the income is, and it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Rent rolls play a big fact. Like I was in the middle of a deal and the seller's T12 was not in line, and it literally killed the deal. You absolutely don't have to provide a T12 for a residential deal.
Right.
So
T12?
T12 is 12 years, 12 months of basically the expenses.
Okay.
So they have to show the expenses, the income for the full 12 months. And they literally have to submit electric bills, gas bills for 12 months for each utility.
Right.
Yeah. So.
All right. So that you know the true expenses and incomes and if it's a profitable building or not.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. So that makes sense. So it's a lot more work. It's a lot more property too, because I mean, people may need to get access to like X amount of units or to a dark, scary basement.
Exactly.
Right.
Not only that, those inspections can last up to like 5 hours.
Right.
Too. A typical inspection is like 2 hours, so.
Are you sticking around for the inspections, or do you go find something else to do?
You know what? Sometimes I stick around a little bit, as long as I can, but of course I'm either going to go get lunch or something.
Right.
Yeah, but at this moment of time, I have assistants, so I'm not sticking around.
Teams and systems, everyone.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because I can tell you, like, on the residential side, I have stayed for these very long inspections, and it's not for everyone. But the reason why I stayed is because I wanted to know, for the appraisers and for the inspectors, I wanted to understand how their jobs work and how it's going to affect my bottom line.
Right. Yeah, so when you're at the beginning of your real estate journey, it's important that you stick around and see how every real estate professional, everyone who's working on your behalf, when your contractors are working for you, if you've never done a renovation before, stick around and watch what the plumber's doing, what the electrician's doing. When it's time for the city to do an inspection of your property for your permits, stick around so that you can actually listen to what the inspectors are looking for, and if there's any problems, you get to understand the process. So in the beginning, you need to understand all these things. And then as you become more advanced in your journey and you actually develop your team, you can send other people to do these observations and do this work for you. But at least now you know what's supposed to happen.
Yep, I agree.
So, that was a tangent for you guys. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that. So we go. So is there a particular deal? You know what I'm saying? Like, because we talk about a dream plan, execute moment. Is there a particular transaction, it doesn't matter if it's seller or buyer side, that you're particularly proud of or the outcome was special in some type of way?
You know what? I really can't pick between the two because there has been situations where me and the first-time buyer has cried together. Given that they didn't think that they would be able to do that. And I think that's my soft spot as being a buyer's agent, to be able to impact many lives. Like I was able to help many people break generational curses, over the past couple of years who didn't even think it was possible.
Okay.
With sellers, I have literally had sellers who were on their first project and trusted me. Some of them trusted me being out of country, with selling their property from start to finish. So I've had some really crucial moments with both sides.
Out of country.
Yeah.
So what, was that one of those commercial deals? Somebody owned an apartment complex and
you know what? I actually had a client, he had a 4-unit property where I think it was it Belize? I think it was Belize. I'm thinking it was about 3 years ago. And he actually met me through a referral and he was rehabbing a 4-unit. I mean, this guy's first property in the States, first rehab project, especially on the south side of Chicago. And I basically walked him through the whole process, was getting his units leased out so he can be able to get, a good return. Walked him through the process with selling it because he ended up reselling it a couple of months later. Initially, he didn't have the intentions on selling it. So just to have that type of trust, he was coming back and forth, from Belize into Chicago. So to have that kind of trust established was amazing. It lets me know that, I'm proud of what I do. And I feel good that people are able to trust me that many miles away. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I can tell that not just in meeting you, but I can tell that right through your Instagram. That level of professionalism, that level of excellence that you exude, not only in yourself but with the people around you. So
yeah,
thank you.
So when did you decide that you were going to build a team? And when you say build a team, are you talking about like other realtors? Like who's on your team?
So basically, I'm going to tell you this now. I am a do-it-yourself person. I don't feel like nobody can do how I would do. So it was a big struggle for me to even bring individuals on and, for me to sit back and watch them. But I have an assistant, and at this moment in time, I have 2 licensed real estate brokers. Yep. So...
And giving up, I'm the same way. Like, if I can do it myself, I'm gonna do it myself, and that's a struggle for me too. Cause I do want our team members to do work on our behalf, cause like I said, we're always flying in and out of town. We got, we're still firefighters. I'm at the firehouse. I'm like,
he has the spirit of micromanage all in him.
Yeah, but I'm trying to let it go.
You have to, and you know what? Just to answer your question, because I feel like that was the short answer of it. Once I noticed that business was going beyond what I can handle, I never wanted to be that professional where the communication sucks. I never wanted to be that professional where, I reached out and they didn't get a response. So I want to keep that good reputation, So in order for me to keep that, I have to bring on a team of people so we can handle that, value. So.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
He said, "Oh yeah."
I'm soaking it in because the transition from doing everything yourself.
It's hard.
Right.
challenging. Nothing is
And
hard.
right now, we look at each other as the team, as opposed to looking at
we always look. Yeah, we are the team.
People around us.
If you want to
And
go
being
bigger,
able to let go.
Yeah.
if you want to go bigger,
But at the same time, it depends on what aspect of our life we're talking about. When it comes, we do have our team, right? We got our property management.
Okay.
So we don't have to physically go out there. They get, we just look for the direct deposit,
okay.
right? And then, when there's different things with our construction team, we have several different construction teams to do work for us. We find a property, or we have people who want, we have clients, stuff like that. Boom, they can take care of it, and we trust that it's going to get done.
Okay.
And we don't have to be over their shoulder per se or whatever.
Our real estate attorney, absolutely separate from our entertainment attorney, separate from
So no personal assistance, none of that.
Yeah.
Nah, not yet. No personal assistance, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Give us time. We working
I
on
feel like
this.
you there.
Ask that this
People,
week.
yeah, people ask
That.
somebody must have a personal assistant business, and they trying to get us to to take on their personal assistant.
Right.
I promise I'm not being sponsored by nobody.
Nobody. Okay, all right. Well, I'm just
We're gonna see your face on Fiverr tonight.
I'm not.
I can get you your
personal assistant. All right, but for our future personal assistant, we will be hiring you one day. It's coming. All right. So, Chicago right now, the inventory is low.
Yes.
The prices are high. Where do you see, I guess the real estate market going? I guess first quarter of 2022.
You know what? The interest rates definitely will be back up. So I literally just had a live where we talked about that. A lot of people feel like, well, the market is too crazy right now. I'm gonna just take a step back and then I'll buy later once the market has slowed down. But yes. 2022, the rates are going to be back up, so which means that monthly mortgage payments are going to be higher than what they are now. As far as with the inventory, I don't really think that the inventory is going to slow down. I do know that a lot of investors are having a hard time buying, finding properties to rehab. But other than that, I think I don't see it declining. I really don't. I don't see nothing happening right now that's giving me that indication. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess my perspective on it is that I think that there are going to be some foreclosures and short sales and things of that nature that are going to create opportunities for people like us to come in, swoop in, and buy properties to renovate, and then we'll be adding to the inventory. And so it may not be as much of a seller's market. It might, and I'm not saying it's going to become a buyer's market. It's just going to, I think, just even out just a little bit more.
I think it will be evened out for sure, but. Nothing. I don't think a drastic change is about to happen. I don't see that.
But it sounds like you're saying if you can afford to buy property, buy it now.
Buy it now. The time is now. There is no perfect time to buy. Now is the time. Yep.
Yeah. Because I'm ready to buy some more property.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I'm not sure if it was last episode or a couple episodes back, but I was like, look. Once you put those properties into an LLC, you become eligible again to go FHA, whether it's a 203K, whether it's just a regular FHA, first time home buyer, whatever, 3.5% down. And we can get back to that over and over again. A lot of people think it's a first time home buyer and that's it. That's not what that product is. It can be used if you don't have an FHA loan
currently.
You just keep refinancing and going back. Refinance that, you can go back to FHA again.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, but I think my advice for anybody who's out there like right now struggling and they with what to do, be patient. Because I think a lot of times people are like, oh, I can't find a property and they just give up. I'm like, it may take you a year to find the property that's right for you, and It may, or you might actually get a foreclosure or a short sale, and it may take a longer amount of time to close. Just because it takes a longer time to close, don't give up on that either. One of the first properties I bought, it took 10 months to close because it was a short sale, but I really wanted that property, and it literally changed our life. Being patient and getting that property. So, everybody's journey is going to be different, and just because everybody around you seems like they're buying properties quickly and it's easier and so on and so forth, it's your process. It's your journey. Just stick to your process and get the property that's right for you. All right. So, when you hear the word homecoming, What does that mean to you?
High school, like I don't know. I don't know. Nothing. The only thing that comes to mind is school, like high school, 8th grade, homecoming. Nothing else. Nothing else. That's all I got. Like,
That's all you got?
all I got.
That's cool too, though.
Yeah, that's cool too. I mean, I remember in high school, I remember after we graduated high school, like our freshman, sophomore year of college, we went back because we wanted to see our little brother play football. And I never really thought about homecoming in high school as something that alumni come back to. I always thought about homecoming being special to the students who are currently in school.
Right.
But it is nostalgic to come back, and I'm like, man, I wish I could just suit up one more time for the game. You know what I'm saying? I wish I saw my coach down there. He coaching a whole new set of kids and stuff like that. I'm like, it's nostalgic because I think in that moment, I'm like, man, we rushing to hurry up and try and graduate because we want to be grown. We trying to hurry up and move on to the next thing. But then when I was sitting there, I was like, man, I had the time of my life in high school. I had a ball in high school.
Yeah, high school was fun.
You know what I'm saying? And I hope that people who are in school right now
cherish it.
I know you want to graduate and you're in a rush, but please enjoy yourself and really cherish those bonds and those relationships that you build. And because homecoming is to me is all about the friendships and the family and everything that you come back to, even if you all the way off in LA or Florida or wherever you decide to go. So, all right. Are there any charitable organizations that come to mind that you want people to check out?
Not that I can think of right now. Not that I can think of.
All right, cool. I always think about the March of Dimes. I don't know why I always automatically go to the March of Dimes.
Fraternity always supports the March of Dimes.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you guys can check out the March of Dimes. Just go ahead and go to themarchofdimes.com. All right? But I kind of did this in reverse. I have one more question to ask.
Sure.
As far as transactions are concerned, is there actual special, like, hey, that one really was like, wow, I didn't think that we was going to be able to sell it for that much.
The dream plan execute moment in your real estate career.
Yeah, and why was it a surprise?
Okay. So there was a 33 unit property in Chatham. There's another one. So there's a property that I sold that's next to the Regal Theater. This one kind of raised a lot of attention because no one never knew that it was apartment buildings attached to the Regal Theater.
Yeah, I'm familiar with those right
there. Yeah.
This is about to be interesting.
Yeah.
Showing that property, I have a lot of stories, to tell, with that transaction, but how everything went, it was an out-of-state investor that purchased it, and it was just one of those deals where you like, I don't know, everything that could happen, happened. Everything bad that could happen, happened.
How many units is that building?
That one, I think, it's like a weird number, like maybe 13 or 15 units. Yeah. But we end up making it to the closing table. When I put that post out, that post got a lot of love and a lot of attention, due to like the history of the Regal Theater, and people was reminiscing under my Facebook and Instagram posts. But that was definitely a transaction to remember. Yep.
Now, do you mean physically attached or?
It shares the wall.
It shares. So to be honest, there's no gap between the building and the actual theater. Like he said, it shares a wall. Yeah.
Right. It's right there on the corner. See, my old firehouse is right there on South Chicago.
Yeah, okay.
If you can picture the firehouse, it's right there.
Okay.
It's behind it. But so we used to drive down that street all the time. That's East End right there.
Oh, it's on that side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at some point on the record, were any of the former owners of the Regal ever the owners of that building, or that building was never owned by anybody who owned the Regal?
You know what? That is a good question, and that is information I don't know. I know that the guys that I sold it the sellers that I represented had no dealings with the Regal Theater at all. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah. Because the way it's built, it seemed like at some point the owners probably
that's what I would
think.
think. That's what I would think.
But that is it is unique though. That is unique.
That was a unique transaction.
All right,
for
cool.
sure.
All right, cool. So you are and your team are actively representing both buyers and sellers. Where can people find you?
Definitely. You can find me at www.amandastapleton.com or Instagram, Amanda Stapleton Real Estate, all lowercase, all together. Also, I'm on TikTok. I'm on Twitter, Amanda Stapleton Real Estate. So it's not hard to find me.
Oh, you on TikTok? We gotta do a TikTok together then. Can we do a TikTok with you?
We can.
I love when people use their government names in these tags, man. It's like, yeah, my name is Mustafa Timbuktu, and I be like, how am I gonna remember that when it has nothing to do with your real name?
All right, so we definitely gonna get with you on that TikTok tip, and what we need you all to do is stick around for Anthony's After Set. Welcome to Anthony's After Set. Well, at the party today, we were talking about a seller's market, and it brought a couple things to mind. Some of you need to sell all of your bad habits away. It is time to sell anything that is hindering you from moving forward. If it's truly a seller's market, sell any relationships, people, places, or things that are hindering you from living your dreams. It is a seller's market. It is the best time to sell right now in 2021. Now, some people are benefiting from being able to sell properties, and they're making huge profits from selling properties. But right now, if you're not in the game, it might be because you haven't sold all the negativity that needs to be out of your life so that you can start buying all the best things that life has to offer. So ask yourself, are you ready to sell? And if so, do it right now. Dream, plan, execute, and sell. All right, we'll see you next time on Homecoming with the Downer Brothers.
Homecoming with the Downer Brothers.